J. Cole. Jermaine. Lamar motherfucking Cole. The best.
Wait. His middle name is Lamar?
Lamar.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oddly enough, it's spelled with 2 R's. Fun fact.
Lamar.
Lamar.
So it's Lamar.
Jermaine
Lamar Cole.
This isn't on purpose, but I happen to be wearing a Lamar Jackson shirt.
You're so annoying.
I didn't plan that, but it just worked out. Anyway, I think when I watched this fucking album. I watched the album. I read it. I heard it. All the fucking possible.
You made love to it.
All the things, bro. I think that shit was one of the best albums I ever heard. Bro,
that was a seriously fire album though. Like I know for him, Forest Hills Drive is still #1. But like for example, this new one, like it cracked into our top 3 for Cole albums.
Absolutely.
This new one was so fucking. It was so good. It was just fire. What do you guys think of it?
No. I mean, this fucking album, I personally put it right on. We'll see how it goes in the next, couple months as I listen to it over and over.
The longevity.
But the longevity of it. But I put it on par with 2014 Forest Hills Drive. If anything, just slightly below it. But I mean, it's there.
I think from top to bottom is his most consistent album because every single album.
I agree with that.
True.
Was just basically him with his punchlines, with his very intricate verses. It was all rapping, you know? Because if you guys see the freestyle that he did on
LA Leakers,
LA Leakers, that's what I was expecting.
So nice.
For that whole album, and he
delivered.
And he did it with different melodies. He did it obviously with like a 90s style. He did a very slow melody. He just did. He did his thing,
went the fuck off.
I think J. Cole, and I've always kind of viewed him as this since he came out with Let Nas Down and talked about how he was such a big fan of Nas growing up, right? And how he incorporated I think he's incorporated a lot of what Nas was as a 90s rapper into his own methodology.
I agree. You can see that in a lot of his work.
And I think he came at this album with that same concept because I think he somewhat diverged away from that methodology and he was coming back into his roots. I read a quote from him saying that he wanted to get back to rapping, like back when he released his first mixtape, The Come Up, and I think he fucking succeeded.
Yeah, and you can even see that because I feel like he did a good job of blending a lot of the newer sounds and things you hear in modern day beats, but with kind of his old school kind of, or first kind of style before it kind of evolved to what it was. And I feel like he blended it very well. It was just, I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did.
I knew it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be that good because usually, and I don't know, this is me personally, when I listen to any album, there's a few songs I'm just like, all right, they're whatever, right? There's a few, not this case. I think this case it was pretty fucking nice. Every song slapped. Every single fucking song slapped. Jenny told me that she didn't like. I mean, it's not that she didn't like it. It's that she didn't fuck with as much. The very last song,
Hunger on the Hillside.
See, that's in my top 3. I love that song.
That's in my top 3.
It's not in my top 3.
That was
the reason why because it was him like saying, "Yo, I'm still coming back."
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere right now. I still got more to prove.
The hunger is there, and that song was. It was good.
You know what it is? I feel like there are certain songs on that album that I feel like he put so much soul into it, but some a little more than others. And I feel like that was one of them. I feel like you could feel the things he's really trying to say to you in that song. So I would say that's top 3.
That song was really, well, that leads me to like my top 3 tracks because I tried to make like a top 3, right?
Let's do the top 3.
So
top 3 with honorable mention, right? That's what we're doing.
Yes, with honorable mention.
Right.
My number 1 was Close, right? That's the second to last song on that shit. To me, Hunger on the Hillside was more like an outro.
Okay.
And Close was like his coup de grace. That was his fucking finale. And that's when he just started snapping off rip, like to begin with, right? And he made this fucking album For Your Eyes Only when his homeboy got shot, right? His homeboy gets shot and he comes out with his album for his daughter. Now, Close, if you listen to the lyrics, he's rapping about his boy that he was always close with, right? He goes up to New York to become a rapper and try to chase his dreams, and his homeboy stays in the Ville, that Carolina town that they both grew up in, and while they were both similar and best friends, they both live very different lives. He becomes the famous rapper. His homeboy falls into the trap and becomes a drug dealer, right? His homeboy pays for it with his life and dies one day. And J. Cole raps about him having a nightmare about his boy dying and getting shot in the fucking rap song. He raps like, oh, you roll around with the toast and you got to keep that shit close. I saw some niggas in my dream and they approached, some shit like that, and then he raps about how they fucking fire on him and he says, oh, I saw hope in your eyes, blah, blah, blah. Basically talking about, one of my favorite verses in that track was he's in the nightmare. He's seeing his boy there. And this is a perspective that's common in nightmares where you're seeing events transpire, but you have no ability to control them. Mm-hmm. So he's seeing his boy counting money, and he's seeing these sus niggas like pulling up on him with these guns in their fucking coats, and he has no capability to intervene. He says that he screams, but no words come out of my throat, right? And we all had those moments where we try to speak in a dream and we're struck silent, right? Mm-hmm. And when at the moment that these men pulled these guns, he talks about the scene froze, and in his eye and in the eyes of his boy, he saw hope, right? Hope of the ability to cope. He rhymes, with lean, coke, and pain. The shit, all the shit that this man's been using to deal with all his fucking the plethora of issues he's had in his life. I think that rap song truly struck me.
Yeah,
it really did.
I mean, it was good. I didn't put it on my top 3.
It was top 1 for me.
The thing about that whole album is everything's
so good.
So good. It's hard to
You can
pick.
make an argument for every song.
It's like you're trying to nitpick every song. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what
what are you really doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's any right answer to the situation.
See, it's interesting because your first choice, right, is because you related to a further album. I mean, that really shows the depth of how much of a fan you are. My favorite, I personally think the top one on that was easily Pride is the Devil. Right, I personally thought that one hit the most because there was one point that the way he flows it is just so smooth, and he's talking about something that I feel like is a pretty big issue that no one really realizes, how pride can really be the fall of an individual. Like they say, pride is the fall of man, right. But it applies to both genders. Anyone can fall from that shit. Mm-hmm. But the way he describes it, so look, pride is the reason for the family dichotomy. Got uncles and some aunts that's too proud to give apologies. Slowly realizing what the root of all my problems be. It got me feeling different when somebody say they proud of me.
Oh, that line got
That's
me.
crazy.
That shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I heard that and I'm like, that was poetry.
That was my number 2 on my list.
I just heard the words of a prophet. Hold up. It was smooth. Like, I'd go to that sermon, bro. It's him. I would go. Every fucking Sunday I will be there.
I'm saying, you go to Rome, you take all that fucking Van Gogh, Da Vinci shit down, you put up J. Cole's lyrics. That's what I do.
Fuck that bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck his story. I'm trying to hear Jay's story.
Bro, that shit was very fucking... when he said, got me feeling different when they say they proud of me. I think that's a real thing.
No, it isn't. It's crazy because he's literally describing how the pride has actually even gone into his family to the point that the individuals you're supposed to trust and care for you the most, you're shocked that they're actually saying something good about you.
In Game of Thrones, right? The Lannisters, Tywin Lannister is the head of the family. He's the patriarch, right? Jaime, Tyrion, and Cersei, his 3 children, struggle with their relationship with their father because he's focused on legacy, right? Familial legacy, but the legacy doesn't mean that he cares for them.
No, it all stems from vanity.
From vanity.
All vanity.
So he cares from them and he's proud of them only from the standpoint of how it lifts his name.
How it looks. It's all image. He really doesn't give a fuck what they do behind closed doors. He knows like Jaime and Cersei are fucking, but it's the image. He didn't care till people had rumors and were knowing about it.
That's a perfect example of what J. Cole's talking about right there.
Damn, I didn't think about it that way, but that's a perfect analogy to compare the two because that's exactly what it was. Pride didn't matter how it went, behind the scenes, what the reality of it was. The only thing that really mattered was the perspective behind it. So that's
the melody on that fucking track was fire.
No.
Oh, so
I'm sorry. Hold up. The beats and melody on basically every song was so stupid.
He incorporated a
lot.
lot.
All right, so that's where I slightly disagree a little bit. I'm gonna be really honest.
Go.
So there were a few songs, all right. Like for example, I can't. Like for example, with Analyzing Pressure, right? Applying. A few of those hits or songs I didn't really. Every song on this album is lyrically great. Like I fuck with the lyrics of everything. There are just certain ones that I could tell he was trying to incorporate a little more of like, not trap, but borderline. Like you can kind of hear the similarities in the beats, and that's where I'm like, it lost me because to me it didn't go with the song.
To me, with Applying Pressure, I had noticed more of it was a 90s style.
It was a 90s style.
It was that resonated, and that's what I look for because I know J. Cole can murk any type of beat like that.
Exactly.
Because there's not a lot of rappers now that they can put like a 90s style, especially if that's what he grew up with. So, like, that was the first song that stuck out to me. I also like My Life.
Applying Pressure was the first song?
With 21 Savage.
21 Savage.
My Life was
My Life was a good one, too. Especially with the last song that they collaborated with a lot. How much money you got? Like, all
lot.
that.
And this one was even better, surprisingly, because that
Good,
first song was
man.
pretty good. Yeah.
Like to get, cause like I think 21 Savage he throws up a lot of people because of how he can rap.
I don't like 21 Savage shit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing when he.
I don't dislike him.
But
There's a lot of people that like, it's like up in the air. It's like I don't know if I really like his stuff, but he can rap.
Yeah, he can.
Especially with
Yeah.
J. Cole, he
He's
can
got
make
a
some
very
good music with them.
like distinct voice. He
does.
You know what it is? When you put niggas like 21 Savage on the same song as a nigga like J. Cole, it just makes it like the contrast is so stark between this nigga. You mentioned applying pressure. I
can
wrote
see what
down
he's
the
saying.
verse where he's like applying pressure, starting my grind where crime festers. Now it's showing like I'm in the second trimester, some shit like that. That shit, I'm like, now it's showing like they in the second trimester. I'm like, bro, who
thinks that?
fucking,
Yeah, who
how
thinks that?
dare you come with such fire? We don't even have a fucking
No,
extinguisher.
but I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of rap songs where like you can hear the clear difference in the skill in these rappers. Like that's all. Like for example, there are times there are some DJ Khaled songs that I do fuck with. You know, they're not bad collabs with some of these artists.
Be the best.
But what I find hilarious is how he'll take some artists and take them out of their element. Like if y'all ever heard Meek Mill try to sound romantic in his raps, it is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Literally yelling it out of his fucking
No,
songs.
it's not that he's
No,
yelling.
it's not
It's his
even that.
lyrics.
If you ever gonna cry, it's gonna be in a Rolls
But
Royce.
yes,
That shit.
I'll wipe your tears away with Benjamins, bro.
Nah, man, but he has
That is the most
he has the
ignorant
same loudness and the same tone in his voice in all of his songs,
Meek
bro.
do
Yeah,
be
but it's
saying
the
shit like
lyrics.
No,
that.
he does, bro.
It's those lyrics.
You know
like,
what it sounds like? It sounds like Meek doesn't know how to be romantic.
He really does it. So what was your favorite songs in the track?
Applying
That's your
pressure,
favorite?
my life, and then what was it? Hunger on the Hillside.
Hold on, that's a good one. All right, what about you, George?
The climb back.
Honestly, I would put that song in mine if he didn't release it as a single.
Really?
Really?
Because I don't like putting
I
songs
knew
that were
that.
already
Already
released.
released as a
knew you
single?
would, but it's still part of the album. I don't care.
No, I know. I
We're
understand
talking
that,
about
but
the album.
to me, it's like we're talking about an intro to all the songs we haven't listened to.
Sure.
No,
You
we're
get me?
talking about the songs within this album. There's 12 of them, okay? There's 12 songs in this album. I get that we already heard this one before. I still
That's why
put it on my
I
top
wouldn't
three.
put interlude in there either because I already listened to it.
No,
That's
fucked. That's flawed.
That's how I
Thank
talk about.
And the Lou was only released a week before. Though.
Literally, bro. Like
I
just a few
understand that.
days.
Okay,
no.
but none of you guys put interlude
no, I
in
don't
there
think interlude-
regardless.
The only reason, Danny, that I
Wait,
didn't
none of us
put
did what?
interlude in my top
Interlude.
3 or even
Put
in
interlude in
my honorable mentions is because of the fact that it's just too short. But that song slapped.
I actually,
for how short it was.
I actually don't even think that's the issue. The only reason I didn't put it in my top 3 is because like
You thought there were better songs.
that song is a perfect one to put out to get hype. It was
No,
good
that's
enough
what
to
I'm saying.
generate
It was a
it.
teaser song.
Yeah, but not. But you know what I mean. But in the song, there's obviously better songs in the album. That's why I didn't put it in the top 3. But it
Well,
doesn't
we
mean
don't
it's a
know
bad
because
song.
that song could have gone further, but it didn't. So that's why it's not in my top 3. Anyway, my top 3, I put the Climb Back, and of course, Pride is the Devil,
Friday's dope.
and Hunger on Hillside. My honorable mention in this case was My Life, and I had a hard time between choosing My Life and Hunger on the Hillside, but I picked Hunger on the Hillside above that one. Just I don't know.
I love that.
resonated
That was
with
a great song.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
just
people like that song,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
No, it is though
But-
because in that last song, it was kind of slow.
Yeah, it was
how he
slow.
was approaching it, and then all of a sudden he's just going speed. You know, talking about like I still got it. The
I
game's not
love-
over for him yet.
That
And
song,
it is inevitable.
that song really makes clear, right? Clarifies. And I love this part about J. Cole. At this point in his career, for him to be as fucking hungry and out here trying to get as he is right now,
But you
100 mil.
You know what? He kind of
100 mil was dope.
had to put an album like this.
he did.
He absolutely had to.
So that
Why do you
Why
say
still
that?
got it.
For the audience, why
Because
do you say that?
KOD, For Your Eyes Only, I think for the most part were very mid
Yeah.
to his
I agree.
standard.
I agree.
Type
High tier
mid, and not even like they were good. Like if
KOD
you're a
was
J
good.
Cole fan, you're gonna enjoy regardless. But if you understand what this
What he's
guy is
capable
No,
capable of,
I
as a lyricist,
agree completely with what you're saying. 100%.
That's why I felt like he had to put an
I can see
album
that.
like this out.
Yeah. And this
You know?
album was just
like just today, right? Him and I were discussing what makes a rapper like truly a legend. Not you don't have to rank them, but just like a legend. I think it's that special X factor.
Oh,
It's
we
that
gonna rank 'em.
They take.
we will.
We will eventually. All right, we're getting there. But they take rap and they make their own style out of it, something that's so unique to them in a way that this is their skill. Like this is, you could almost say this is what they were meant to be doing. And this is the album that kind of reminded you he's one of these dudes. Because again, I agree with you, the last two albums were not bad, but it's not him. It's not what I know he can do. This, like, I'm like, okay, I'm reminded now.
Yeah, and that's
I didn't need a reminder, but you reminded me.
And that's funny you say that, a reminder, because with albums such as 2014 Forest Hill Drive, I don't think you need a reminder to know that somebody is fucking raw.
Nah, but
right? Like,
you know what? That album was very important to him because that was his third album. And it was the album that he really had to put everything he had in him to prove that he was that dude.
In that tier.
Which goes
That
to what I was
dude
saying.
Yeah.
Which goes to what I was saying. If you can make an album like that and then top it off with an album like the off season where it's just, arguably just as good, that shows.
Because they went Cold World, right, as his first album, Cold World Sideline Story. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Born Center, right? Born Center went into 14 Forest Hills Drive.
Then it was For Your Eyes Only.
And then KOD,
and now
right?
Off-Season.
And then we're on this new shit, right? I feel like exactly what Daddy said. 14 Forest Hills Drive, we heard Sideline Story. We're like, damn, that's like his rookie popular shit. We're like, damn, this nigga can rap. Then we heard Born Center. We're like, okay.
It was a little more polished, a little cleaner.
Right.
Like he was kind of getting the groove of it.
This is the evolution of J. Cole. Okay, like this is his, if he was a fucking Charmander before, that's his Charmeleon. I'm like, okay, this nigga's getting stronger, right?
Okay.
I like his fucking flow. He's definitely not a one-hit wonder.
Then
Once
you got
he hit
Forest Hills
14
Drive.
He's Charizard.
He evolved. Like it was.
Charizard in this bitch.
Charizard confirmed.
Yeah. That vaulted him into that. Oh, this nigga can rock with any popular Kendricks, the Drakes at the time. Were like
It was like the perfect blend of him understanding like how much give and take as far as like what's kind of selling out, what's a hit, what's himself. Like he put so much into this album, so much time, dedication, and
nigga
everything.
seasoned it. Perfect. Right?
That was like that Salt Bay.
Yeah. There was just enough paprika on the fucking fettuccine, nigga. That shit was popping. I came back for seconds, thirds.
And
Me and my homegirl Daniela were listening to that shit from 2014 until summer 16.
So
Drake dropped that motherfucker.
you're just gonna kick me out like that.
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna
like
ignore
that.
you. Anyway, summer 16.
This motherfucker. Like, if I wasn't right
I'm trying
there
to
next to you
involve
guys.
the fans.
Chacon's over there. Like
This
I
is
wasn't there. It's okay.
And it's like I was literally playing the music for you.
I don't remember.
It's like, yo, Danny, play this song real quick. It's like, bro, I already have that on cue.
Did I say Danny or Daniela?
Yes.
I said Danny. It could have been you. I was talking about. I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
believe you.
I feel like I should be.
I don't feel like it's giving you a reason to doubt him.
Anyways, moving on.
Butthurt. Anyway, but yeah, bro, we were playing that shit for 2 years. 2 fucking years. I don't think I've ever played one album that long. Not fucking one. J. Cole, after like ranking his albums, I put it like 14 Forest Hills Drive because that was the first concert of his that I ever went to, and that shit was amazing.
I fucking hate you. I wish I was there.
That shit
Jenny was there.
amazing.
I hate her too.
Yeah.
I
See,
wish
funny
I was
for
there.
me, my favorite album of his is still Born Center.
Born Center.
I love. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Forest Hills Drive, but Born Center is just hit different.
Born Center's
bro.
a hit. Is a
Bro,
slap.
you got Let Nas Down. You got Runaway. You got Born Center.
Run away.
Even
I
like,
love that song.
Even like the slower songs like Sparks Will Fly, She Knows.
No, Sparks Will Fly.
Sparks Will Fly's a romance song.
Yeah,
You trying to tell me, bro?
That's
You
song
gonna
was
tell me
good,
with
though.
Janae Aiko in that shit ain't slap?
nice.
Come on, bro.
some of J. Cole's romantic shits, bro. In the Morning, I love In the Morning, bro.
In the Morning,
That's such a
Silent Story.
vibe. It's a vibe, though. You don't think it's a vibe?
Yes, it
No,
is
no,
a
I'm
fucking
saying,
vibe.
yeah.
What's that song
But,
that's like, got me up all
Oh,
night?
New York State of Mind is Born Center
is that
too.
Born Center too?
Yeah. Power Trip. There you go.
Yeah.
Power Trip. When your weakest albums overlap
even bad.
most of just because every artist has that one album that's just like, all right, that's fair. Even the GOAT of them, in my opinion, Eminem, right? What was that? Relapse.
That's the weakest, yeah.
That was bad. And even he acknowledged, Relapse was bad. I can't think of one J. Cole album
That's like bad.
that was bad. Because
His
Relapse
bad,
had, like,
his
two
bad
good
albums
songs.
overlap his greatest albums.
and by a long shot, it's just great. But he doesn't really have bad,
Like truly
albums.
bad albums. It's just bad for him.
Yeah, bad for him, but that's because we put this same thing with Eminem. It's bad for him because we put the standard up there. But
I know Danny always tells me to stop comparing sports to music, but I gotta do it. It's like the other, like I think it was not last season, but the season before last season when Aaron Rodgers went out there and he put up, like I think he had like a ridiculous interception ratio that was more than 3-1, right? And niggas were like, oh, he's having a down season. Aaron's getting old. This nigga can't really do it like he used to, right? Aaron Rodgers was still, that was a down season for him. He was still better than the fucking second best quarterback in the league by leaps and bounds. It's just that Aaron Rodgers is so fucking
That's the
good.
thing. When you hone a skill to that degree, like it shows.
So the standard that we set for you is just so fucking high.
So high.
That
we
anything is
expected,
But this
single
album
time.
just did not disappoint. It was
At
just
all.
Bro, you know what song really
one
stuck with me
song.
too? You know what song stuck with me for real? Well, it was the very first one, Amari. I don't know
That
about
was the
y'all.
first one. It was 95.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amari was the second.
Second,
Amari
okay,
was the second,
that
yeah.
one. That one, bro. That one got me. I don't know what y'all thought about that one.
No, I
But there's one part in there, right, that he's like, I will never fall out with the bro. Hate when your family turned into foe. We had a penthouse on the road, interior decorated hose.
Yeah.
Just like a multiple choice getting chose. My people like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Bro.
Yeah.
It's like poetry, but he's talking about hose. Like the only thing he's missing is
talking about hose.
Cisco harmonizing the word hose. That's the only thing missing in that song.
You ever seen that fucking meme where this nigga says, I met this girl named Hope, but the P is silent on the weekends? Yo, that's what that means. This nigga's on that
The
shit.
lyric that stuck out to me. I mean, there was a bunch of basketball reference
There
in
was.
this whole album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Damian Lillard
But
on that punch in the clock.
yeah, in
Yeah.
the beginning. No, but on the same song, Amari, it was kill him on a song, walk up out of the booth, do the Westbrook Rocker Baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way, bro.
He also like did a LeBron James reference on one of these shits.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
he
I'm
did,
like
yeah.
LeBron, I
He
can't
does.
leave the game. I think that was on Hillside.
I think it was Hillside. Yeah, basically saying exactly what you guys said, that he's not gonna be. This is not his last album. This is not his
it's not.
retirement swan
It's
song. He's
apparently
staying in the
second
game.
to last.
So
Fall off.
just to
Fall off.
clarify, so are we all putting J. Cole in top 5?
And what?
In top
Top
5
5 rappers? I am.
I am.
No.
I'm not.
Oh, what?
I'm not
All right, so
doing
let's
it.
hear where this goes.
Daniel discussed.
Wait,